A very good afternoon, Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And at this point in time, we are looking at the collusion between Emmerson Mnangagwa and Welshman Ncube and the new trick which they have started to implement. So we saw in the past few days Tshabangu losing a court case against Welshman Ncube. And, that is a well-planned deal, and these people know what they are doing. And Mkoma Solo took time to actually elaborate further what we have been thinking and what we have been talking about. He says Mnangagwa knows what he is doing. Tshabangu has finished his job and he ate. No longer an important piece on the chessboard. Comes in Welshman just in time for the 2030 agenda. 2028 elections must be deferred. He will agree to this together with the current MPs because they know this might be their last term. And we need to take a look onto this. We have seen right now an attempt by various MPs within the CCC. What happened is that after the precab thing, which was organized by Tshabangu, it seems as if it flopped, and it coincided with the new court case which Welshman Ncube won. Welshman Ncube was not part of that camp yekwenda ku precap. So what is happening is that MPs are now giving their loyalty to Welshman Ncube because he is now the powerful man. Just right in time, he has been given powers within the CCC. He has suspended Tshabangu, and Tshabangu has lost a court case. And what it means is he is no longer effective within the party. The MPs no longer fear to be recalled by him. But now, they are now afraid of being recalled by Welshman himself, which means they are going to work together, do his bidding, and they will continue like that. But the major argument is that Welshman is not the one who initiated everything. They will now start to blame Tshabangu and to say Welshman was equally a victim, but he stood in place to defend. And look at it, now it's a winner. And they will start to tell you Kuti is a victory for democracy. They will overlook whatever which happened. They will overlook the recalls which have happened and everything else. And they will start to bribe people with their sweet words going forward. So it's very, very important to note that Welshman Ncube is coming in for the Agenda 2030. And this is where everything is important. It comes in because there are plans for a GNU between Emmerson and Welshman. What it means is if they agree, if they manage to extend the term to 2030, they are going to form a GNU. And this GNU will be between Emmerson Mnangagwa and Welshman Ncube, with Welshman Ncube going to be given in a very, very important role. So at this point in time, you would see that they are now working together. They are together up to 2030. And I want to show you how compromised all the MPs from CCC are at this point. If an extension is done up to 2030, which MP is going to say, inina hangu 2030 and ndinoshka 2028 ndobandasiya? Which MP is going to do that? None. They are not. If they couldn't leave where Nelson Chamisa left, when Nelson Chamisa left, if they couldn't leave in solidarity of those who were recalled, what will make them leave now? So these people, they know for sure that they are doomed and they will never win again and again and again. They will be punished if elections come. So for them to survive, for them to be in parliament, they are thinking if they extend it to 2030, then after 2030, they are likely going to join the bandwagon. vanenge vakusiwa na-ED, they join the bandwagon. That is if they agree. So it's very, very interesting to see these things happening. And I want to look at what Gift Osalos said, which is very, very important. He says, the selective amnesia informed by convenience must be exposed. The comrades have pitched camp with the regime and want to lie that the so-called League of Victories is on merit. Clearly disingenuous. In 2008, they used the Coupe, bringing her to lead a party he had contested against. They did the same with Monzora. Now they have used Tshabangu, and having seen that has expired, have moved on to, that's the trend. Criminal capture and abuse by a coalition of unelected and accountable elites without a mandate from the people. So this is something that is very, very important, and it requires us as the people to be robust. It requires us to be vigilant. It requires us to be prepared to face the consequences of the illegality which is happening in Zimbabwe. We must be able to resist whatever which is happening. So a time shall come where we will mobilize each and every Zimbabwean to say we have to stop the 2030 agenda. It will need everyone on board. It will need you, it will need me, it will need us. Because that is where we are going. The same way they operated in the past is the same way they are operating now. So their steps are predictable. You can easily predict what they are going to do next. So it's easy to stop them. And we have to stop them by all means possible. We have to stop them. So ZANU-PF people will continue to act as if they are the masters of this political thing. But let me tell you, a time is coming when these people are going to regret, are going to cry, are going to actually pay for what they've done. So the gardener says, I blame you, Ostalos, and your boss. You are the one who selected all those Triple C MPs who are now full-time ZANU-PF members and supporting the unconstrained deferment of elections. Personally, I'm not in the leadership of Triple C, so I am going to give my views. I disagree with this narrative or this notion. These people who are in the opposition, they have been greedy from day one. Since the days of Morgan Tsvangirai, the opposition has had greedy people. There is no way Nelson was going to have an opportunity to work with new people without disbanding the old system. So look at what happened. The thing is, there are a lot of people who have entered into the political race, or who entered into the political race in the last election. Some of them, who still have their integrity, who still have good names. But it's just unfortunate that the majority of those people didn't make it to parliament. Another issue is that we have had people who are joining politics as a matter of looking for a job. That is the biggest mistake which we have had in the opposition. That is the reason why I agreed with Nelson Chamisa when he said, I am stepping down and I'm starting to work from scratch. It's now a matter of creating a team or building up a team which is not looking for a job, a team which is not joining politics to make money. So I love one thing, that as the leadership of Triple C, they take responsibility because they had no time to actually put in place a formidable team. Because if Chamisa had dumped them before the 2023 elections, he was going to look like he's an evil person. But he left it to happen so that the people of Zimbabwe would know who is who. Now that we know who is who, We now know each other. We now know who is on the left and who is on the right. And now we are building a team which is going to be responsible enough to make sure that whatever which happens, they will sacrifice themselves for the sake of the people. Not these MPs who sacrifice for their own stomachs, who sacrifice for themselves. They will tell you, hey, tikasaenda kuparliament tichabhadhara mabills nei tine mabills ekubhadhara tinechi kokana wanga wakadyiwa waibhadhara nei mabills iwayo. We need to be honest with each other. Kana wanga wakadyiwa election waibhadhara nei mabills iwayo. Isisu takadyiwa election tiri kubhadhara nei mabills. That is the kind of question we need to ask. Ask anybody who is telling you about my bills, who is telling you about what. Isisu takadyiwa tiri kubhadhara nei mabills. Isisu takadyiwa mataura zvezvikwereti. Isisu takadyiwa tiri kubhadhara nei zvikwereti. So we need to be honest, and we need to be vigilant about these people. The same people, they've started to act as if ZANU-PF is so bad, but they are going to vote along together with ZANU-PF, and they will continue to embolden ZANU-PF and to sanitize whatever ZANU-PF is doing. Vakamirira zvavo 2030. And they are doing so because they know kuti kana pakaita zvinoitika pakati apa 2030 agenda isati yabudirira. They are going to look like they were the saints or they were good. So we still have a lot to actually wake upon as a people, and we still have a lot to actually deal with at this point in time. So baba vachamisa vane basa rakakurisa rekuti vagone kunge vachitoshanda nekurwisa kuitira kuti shanduko igone kuuya munyika. We still have a lot to do. And where we are at this point in time, we have to agree as a people that, Nelson Chamisa has been strong and he has been facing a lot. Imagine when all these people who were surrounding him. I want to be honest with you. Save for a few MPs who resigned. Vazhinji vacho integrity dzavo dzakaora kudhara. They've lost their integrity whatsoever. So this is what is happening. And Welshman Ncube and his people, Welshman, this is a handover takeover, which simply happened in the courts. And that judgment from the courts was meant to sanitize Welshman Ncube. That is the reason why Tshabangu wanted to remove those people. But they didn't want to remove those people. If they are serious, why can't they recall Tshabangu from parliament? However, even if they recall him, atojika kudhara. So very, very interesting. We will continue to watch and see whatever which is happening. But this is a very important lesson to the opposition. And wherever we are going, we now know what to do, because we are learning, we are improving ourselves on a daily basis. And the time shall come when we are going to confront the ZANU-PF head on. And that time is coming. I always say, do not worry about all these dollars. A time shall come when the people of Zimbabwe shall show ZANU-PF what needs to happen. So we cannot continue to tolerate the nonsense which has been happening. We now know we made mistakes in the past, and we have to correct those mistakes. We have to take responsibility of our actions. That is the reason why Nelson Chamisa stepped aside. He could have remained there, but he stepped aside as a measure of, number one, taking responsibility, number two, disassociating himself with the nonsense which is happening. So, General Tombe, thank you very much. Petronella, my sister, thank you very much for coming. I says, Makudo Ayo, ask my MPs, Komichi Monzorabiti Wende Rubbish. So, it's true. Everybody who is in parliament, in Inangu, I don't care how much you bootlick. I don't care how much you make noise saying Chamisa. As long as you are in parliament, then Magango Fanana. So it is what it is. Team Zimbabwe will continue to look at what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe without fear, without favor. General says we have learned, not we are learning. So change is coming. No more Dumbo for politics. Yes, unozwa kuti nyaya dzedumbu ndodzinyaya dzauraya nyika, kuti we have people who are getting into politics kuti vadye vagute. And that is the thing which we need to end. You know, I always said to the people, it was easy for some of us to say, let us try to contest in the urban areas. But we said, no, let us go to the rural areas. It was a sacrifice. Imagine you are at work and you leave your job to go and contest in the rural areas where you know that your capabilities to win are limited. That is the kind of sacrifice which we need. That is the kind of spirit which we need from our people. People who are going to say, we will go there and we will fight ZANU-PF tooth and nail, starting from the areas where they dominate. We need people who are going to sacrifice. We need people who are going to say, we are ready to lose everything for the sake of change. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Let us continue to fight for change. My network is bad because of bad weather, Kurukunaya, and we'll try by all means possible to come live, but we have to balance and make everything work. Thank you very much, everyone. Let us meet in other episodes and the other